It's easy to look around and notice everything wrong in your city. In this podcast by Every Neighborhood Partnership, join Grace and Andrew as they invite friends, activists, pastors, leaders, and city workers to discover what's good in the neighborhood. Join us for insightful conversations that will encourage you to see your city and its people in a new way. You're listening to What's Good in the Neighborhood. Today, Andrew and I get the chance to chat with Andrew's very own brother, Bryan Feil. What a joy. Bryan is literally a jack of all trades. You're going to hear all about his business journey, the things he's been doing, over like the last 15 years. And today, we really want to focus with him on what it looks like when the people that you work with and alongside your patrons, your customers, that it's a mutually beneficial relationship, or even the people that others in business or in society would deem like unacceptable or not helpful to their business. Bryan has chosen to embrace them over the course of his career and actually invest in them over the long term to see transformation. So you're going to really love this one. It's just, real casual and fun with the brothers today. We hope you love it.
Welcome to What's Good in the Neighborhood. My name is Andrew Feil.
I'm Grace Berg.
We didn't set up this right. It should have been a Feil sandwich today.
Oh, those are always tasty.
Love a Feil sandwich. As you can't tell, that voice does sound like mine, but it is not mine. It is my younger brother, and I'm starting with my younger brother because everyone thinks his mustache makes him look older. Are you just learning this? No,
I don't know. I guess
it's a mature stash.
I'm gonna be really honest. I just thought you were like twins or something, like just really close in age.
Yeah.
We are 11 months and 5 days.
12.
Close in age.
12 months and 5 days.
12 months and 5. Thank you. Yes.
Bryan, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I am privileged to be here with you both.
Wow. Did you ever think you would one day be on your brother's podcast?
I didn't. The day has come and it is glorious.
And we made it happen.
Yep.
They just fist bumped. We're so stoked you're here. We are in our neighboring series, and we're talking about different practices of what it takes to be a good neighbor. And you came up in conversation as we were talking about, like, no matter, and I've even seen this as you were working on our building. I'm sure Andrew will talk more about how he's seen it too in your life, but just this ability to, no matter where someone's from or what they bring to the table, you see their value and what they can reciprocate. Mm-hmm. So seeing value in everyone. So we thought we would chat with you about that.
That's great. Happy to be here. Yeah. And diving into that topic because, it feels like it's always an opportunity to grow and learn in as well.
So a little, I'll let you give the kind of snapshot, but Bryan's had quite a journey. And again, I think a feature I look at him that I see is he knows how to find value in places and people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like a thing he's brought to every place, whether it has been a business, and whether it's been a nonprofit, it's been a building. He's even dreaming up a new venture right now, and he just drives by a place and just says, that could be something so much better, and is going to do it in a way that is restorative to people. So give us a little your story. Like, how do you find yourself doing this work? We breezed over, but both you have helped start a nonprofit, Neighborhood Industries, Neighborhood Thrift. You ran Lanna Coffee, a coffee shop. You now have a consulting company. You were at Bitwise. Like, that's quite a resume. And then also now at Center for Community Transformation. How did you get into what you're doing? Like, how do you see the strokes of your life as you think about being a neighbor, reciprocity, finding value in people?
Yeah, it's a long story, I guess, but it is definitely one that I've...
It's a podcast. We don't have a long time. So.
Yeah.
A long-form conversation.
Yeah. It's one that I think, I was even reminded of this morning with John Perkins passing and just what I learned in the Pink House, which is an urban ministry house it's gone through some various transitions. But when I went through it, it was a 10-month program learning about God's heart for the city and really understanding the Christian community development movement, the 3 R's. And I think having grown up in Bakersfield, moved to Fresno to go to Fresno Pacific, and then going to the Pink House, always just, I don't know, I guess business was always that thing that like I saw my dad live into. It just felt like that was the direction I wanted to go. But I think God's heart and his stirring in me changed focus from what does it look like to be successful and what does success look like? And it's always a ongoing identity challenge in that. But realizing like this idea of using the resources and passions God has given me for our community is in this community development perspective is what I want to give my life to. And so in that Pink House process, the idea of creating a thrift store called Neighborhood Thrift came about, and that was in the beginning part of 2008. And so with a couple other awesome dudes, Garth Richards, Anthony Armour, we launched this thing and just got to figure out what it means to do business in a holistic way, working with those who are in very different walks of life and season and challenge and home challenges. And from that, feeling the opportunity and that had presented itself to take over what was then a nonprofit coffee roasting company called Lanna Cafe, we transitioned it into a for-profit company, knowing that as things grow, there's opportunities with ownership and equity, and the hope that like let's make this thing last for the long term was at play. And so did that for 4 years, going to Thailand and hanging with farmers and understanding this industry of coffee. And then
because there was actually a nonprofit in Thailand that was growing the coffee, helping develop villages, kind of like I always thought about it as like a world vision, like water, food, education. They were growing coffee. You were the distributor here. So you had a business
to import that in. Yep. And be their like US based coffee importer selling green and then primarily roasted and brewed product. So had a lot of fun doing that. And then did real estate development with Bitwise Industries, got to learn a whole nother aspect of kind of even what's in the same thread as taking an old building that has opportunity and let's breathe some life into it. Let's fill it with great people in the city. Did that for 4 years. And then that came to an abrupt stop.
You can Google that if you don't know that story.
Yep. And so, the other thing within running Lanna is a partner and I took over the Review coffee shop. It was called Mia Cuppa then in 2000 and maybe 17 or something like that. So learned food service, which was really, really
Jeff Bennett from Ampersand and Bryan.
Yeah, and our lovely wives, and
yeah, they had to do a lot.
Yep, for sure, and learned a lot. I think I have a new perspective for food operations. The challenge that it is, the gruelingness that it is, but also the delight to just bring people into a space, serve them something awesome that they can connect over. So we sold that in 2022 to Component Coffee Roasters. And then, so 2023, right, fast forward, got a call from Carlos Huerta over at CCT and was like, hey, what are you doing? And so, so the idea of, I think, I don't know, the vision of like, man, I'm a jack of all trades of the business skills with I'm not like the marketing dude, or I'm not like the finance guy or something, but I know enough to be dangerous. How can I use these tools to help empower our local community and small businesses and social enterprises? So I launched Caddis Consulting alongside of Center for Community Transformation, and this summer will be 3 years with both. So, yeah.
So you've only done like a couple stuff,
a few things, but it has that thread of the thing is less important than why and what the goal is.
Well, I was just gonna like double highlight that for a minute. You mentioned it right at the front, like your definite, like how you've had to redefine success, and like Fresno, for all intents and purposes, right now is booming business wise. It feels that way, anyways. Like for like small business owners, or even like in the restaurant world, like we're just getting all these new things north, right? And where you really have like centralized and highlighted, like I'm going to stay in this area, or like I'm going to work with these types of people. What you said it too, like I know enough to be dangerous. Like at any point you could have been like, I'll work with those guys over there, and we'll go build this thing, and like get some legit real success that would look like success to the world. What has kept you like threaded downtown, Central Fresno, these people?
Yeah. I think it's more of a selfish thing, is this is where I live and this is where I want to invest, right? And there are awesome things all over town, right? But I know the community in which I live to a decent amount, and I want to keep empowering that community and be close to home and be able to, the neighbors that I live with are also my customers or shoppers, and it just breeds a different relational opportunity, I guess.
Yeah, totally. I was just curious. It's like there's something there of like, you could do whatever. You could build wherever. Yeah. But you've chosen to stick close. I love it.
I know a little bit about your childhood because I was part of it.
This is not a therapy session.
But like as you think about your own story and you think about the experiences, did you always just, I'm fine, I see the potential in people, like those that society would overlook, or, like the language even I picked up from you and AP as you guys are doing neighborhood thrift is like you'd have like your special friends, and that was what most other business owners would say. They're our annoyance, they're trashing our place, these are the people that drive us nuts and we're calling the cops on. You called your special friends. There's a value that you actually like saw something, like even some of those folks have died. You guys have been a part of funerals, like some of those people became staff members. Like was that like something that you've always just like, no, I can cross any line, or are there like experiences or shifts that you went through that led to that kind of way of being?
Oh man, I think it's all a lot of things. It is like, hey, just keep your pants up for now, please. Like, don't be, I don't know. Like, there's a frustration.
That's the second time naked people have come up in our podcast.
In the neighboring practice.
The neighboring practice.
Yeah, or like maybe it's not good to keep that needle in your arm, or those types of things, right?
Yeah, please don't pee on the side.
Yes, like we have a restroom. Come and use it. And I think it's just been a natural outflowing of like, if this place isn't for them, then where is, And even though it makes it challenging and difficult and frustrating and feels often like a nuisance, right? Of like, I really got to make this spreadsheet real quick, but my friend just wants to he needs a ear to just listen to. And so he can just be chatting. I can, sometimes I need to shut the computer and listen. Sometimes doesn't really matter, And so, I don't know. I think it's a lot of things, but it's a process of like, just, I don't know, trying to feel safe, hold boundaries when possible, but also, exist for those who often don't have a place to be.
Ever wondered what makes your neighborhood unique, or how the history of your city shapes the places you love today? Well, now you can explore the story of Fresno like never before, right from your car using the VoiceMap app. Introducing the Every Neighborhood Partnership Drive Tour, a self-guided audio tour that brings your community's history, landmarks, and stories to life. As you drive through local streets, EMP's Drive Tour will guide you with fascinating insights into the people, places, and events that have shaped your neighborhood. Whether you're discovering hidden gems, learning about community activism, or simply enjoying a fresh perspective on familiar places, this tour is a great way to connect with Fresno in a whole new way. So what are you waiting for? Tap into the Every Neighborhood Partnership Drive Tour today on VoiceMap and get to know your community like never before. Download the VoiceMap app, search for the Every Neighborhood Partnership Tour, and start exploring now. Fresno's story is waiting to be discovered. I'm thinking about when you were co-owning Review, and even as a customer, we'd come down from Hume Lake and get our coffee, of course. And it's an experience in some ways to be in the tower and to be a customer there, because there's always friends that are houseless and either coming into the shop or outside the shop.
Mm-hmm.
As a business owner, I'm sure there was lots of temptation to want to just clear the street, or like, you need to keep moving,
Mm-hmm.
push them down. And then the more business owners that do that, now we've gentrified the neighborhood to some degree, right? Or
Yeah.
we've, for lack of a better term, like cleansed it, quote unquote, and then it looks completely different. It changes the demographic. It changes the socioeconomic of that place. What was that like for you? And even with neighborhood industries too, like, instead of the need to clean,
Mm-hmm.
like the embrace instead.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always this moving target of trying to know, like, what does that person or that individual actually need? And I think what Neighborhood Industries has even done, post my not being there, is really honed in on, like, hey, we're going to have social services as a part of, like, the operations of our business in a way that, like, is unheard of. And I wish we had funds to do something like that at the Review, but knowing that, like, man, there's each of these individuals has a story, and God is not done with their story now, right? And from individuals that, like, I met on the street, almost 20 years ago, to working with now. And it's really cool to see God move in their lives, maybe using us, maybe not, right? Maybe up to all a part of that. But I think it's a balance of knowing what environment you're in and operating in, what you can provide, what you can't provide, and being a resource when possible. There's oftentimes we had a fellow that would just be passed out in one of the back booths, and eventually, it'd have to be like, okay, you've been here for 5 hours and we're closing, so you do have to go at this point, right? Or they just need to get a charge on their cell phone, right? And so, but as long as there can mutual respect, if you could gain mutual respect and develop that relationship, everybody wins.
Yeah. And then they don't feel like you're just trying to even like change the environment, or that they're a transaction,
Mm-hmm.
but that they're actually like, like you said it. I loved how you said that. Like, this is a place, if they can't belong here, where can they go?
Yeah. Then they're going to be hiding behind the dumpster, real quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a story that, again, this idea of reciprocity, or seeing that potential in somebody, is what we're hitting on. Is there a story that comes to mind? And it could be thrift, it could be any other season of your kind of life or work, where you've really seen, somebody's true value that maybe others had missed.
Yeah. I mean, I think of, there's a gal who, I think is one of the longest standing employees at Neighborhood Thrift, who would initially come into our first store, which was a 2,000 square foot store on Fulton, and she would volunteer, and she could take home some clothes for the kids. But the way that she showed up and just like worked so hard for that hour or those 2 hours, like, we're like, man, we need to make enough money here so that we can give her a paycheck, and sure enough, like after, a year or so, maybe even 18 months, like, she became one of the first hires, and now, moved out of the apartment, bought a house, has funded kids through college, and as AP always says, braces on her kids' teeth. And AP was even telling me that now she's building like her retirement home down in Mexico near her family, like from the ground up, and it's just, she's just like the rock star that, like, English has never been incredible for her. She's grown, over the last 20 years, but I think even where she was at to where she is now, like language has improved, and she has she's just a star.
I mean, she's literally one of their directors, right? Like she's on the leadership team. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's mentoring all the other young gals that have a shared lived experience of being a single mom and how to navigate through life and roll up your sleeves when needed. And so it's pretty awesome.
How old are you when you started Neighborhood Thrift?
22.
Say 22, 21, 22.
Yeah.
Just a couple years ago.
Yep. Yeah. Old guy now.
What has changed? Do you like when you think back on your 22-year-old self that was like just wanting to build, I don't know, maybe you just were like, let's just build this thing. Were people's, how has that grown over time? Like have that value of people, was it like, we need folks to help volunteer and like, that's, hopefully part of it, or has it, has it grown as a value as you've gotten older?
I don't know. I think it was instilled in Pink House and like the vision of why we started, and knowing that like if we grow a successful business, we can do all these things has kind of, I don't know, I think maybe just a little more riskier than like there's different costs now to like life at 40 years old and 2 kids. And so I don't know, maybe I've gotten older and less risky in some ways, but I hope I don't lose that,
I mean, Neighborhood Thrift started with $18,000 and a bunch of donations.
Yep. And Garth digging out, old racks in River Park from Gottschalk's going out of business. It's like, we don't have funds for fixtures and furniture. And so, and just a big pile of clothes from the Well Community Church.
What was like a big day when that first year, like if you had a big sales day at Neighborhood Thrift, what was
I mean, $300 or $400 would have been like, we're over the moon, because I remember heat of summer, $80 days and being like, this is not working, $80.
Yeah. $80.
And so AP and I, created we have to have another balance. We have a good relational days, and then we have good economic days, right? The best is when they both work together, but sometimes it's going to have to just be one,
Yes, that's so good. I think that the temptation for business owners is that you employee give me something, right? I train you, I employ you, and thank you so much. Like you did that thing. But that mutual benefit and the value and the reciprocity of relationship that you're talking about is different. What is that difference there? Like, do you find yourself like getting more involved in their personal life, or is it more so like, I literally can't do this without?
Yeah. I think it's a blend of a lot of different components. I think personal, like, you can't help but like when somebody, I don't know, is late multiple days, it's like, hey, what's happening in life? Like, we want to work with you, but like, you don't have to share all the, I don't know,
details.
Yeah, details that aren't helpful, but like, we're here, we're in your side, right? And the better that they feel like this is a safe place for them, and that they actually have they have creative solutions that like I could never think of, right? And I even saw that within the Lanna, within even operating Lanna. It's like, I don't know anybody who's a coffee roaster. Like, you don't hire that off the street, right? And so you train, you work, you figure these things out, and you get to be a part of that person's journey, whether they're with you for a year or 4 years. And and then being able to, I don't know, like even meet farmers like in northern Thailand and be like, man, this bag of coffee that you just worked this whole year to produce, we're going to go roast in 3 hours back in Fresno. But like each piece is special because you've handpicked that, and we want to treat it with respect. And so it works its way from all different levels of that.
Well, and I think I was also, and it's even filtered here. I got it from you. The way you're talking about employees, like you guys created a discipline process, right? You had hard to hire employees, who have a lot of barriers, and so created a discipline that restores process. So it's not just punitive. We're here to come down on you, and 3 strikes you're out. It's like, hey, we've got a clear process where by the time somebody's fired, they are basically making a choice to not work here anymore. And like that's very different than I think corporate. Like that's not you're really seeing the potential in somebody and giving them the chance to realize that.
And being educational throughout that process of like, hey, what is it that we can help and accommodate? Is there something maybe you just need to come in half an hour later and work out? Oh, I can do that. Totally. Let's work it out so that like, so that you're set up for success. And maybe that means you need to leave the house 10 minutes early because you're going to hit that train. It always comes at 8:00 or whatever, right? But yeah, putting that it's a shared ownership. It's not one person just dictating down, and that like, when you go on a decision-making leave, which is what, the traditional world might call like suspension, right? There's a process of like, hey, just consider like, is this the place you want to be, right? Like, and then let me know tomorrow. I don't want to know now. Come in tomorrow and tell me, or take 3 and then let me know what you've decided because you're responsible for your decision.
Yeah. In your consulting business now, and maybe even at CCT too, as you're coaching business owners, how do you pass on that reciprocity value? Or do you notice that business owners come to you being like, this employer, how do I hire the right person? What's a value that you find yourself repeating?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a matter of like, can you as a business leader just be clear, right? And set clarity for your team, for even your customers. Sometimes you need to create clarity for them as well, so that you can avoid situations that are just going to become uncomfortable because nobody loves conflict, right? And understanding who you are as a leader and what is that vision and how does that work itself out for your team is crucial. And so, I think most business leaders just, they pick up the hammer and they start swinging on whatever the thing is. And so oftentimes they have to come back a little bit and work on the business versus in it. And so that's one of the keys.
Business can be seen on maybe, if we're going left, right perspective or whatever, like business can be seen as God, like capitalism, that is the only way. And then, or it can be seen as like, this is the great evil that's like ruining society. But I've heard you articulate business is just a place of exchange. Like, how do you now think about business as reciprocity, just the business or the marketplace? Like, what's the value of markets? What's the value of, like, why do you care about actually people Lanna could have been a nonprofit. Why is it actually better served? Thailand is better served as a business. Like, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things, right, where when somebody is willing to open up their pocketbook and make a purchase, they're communicating value, right? And so it's not the only key indicator of a business, right? But Grace, if you open up your wallet and you go buy a latte, right, you're putting your value of like, hey, what they're giving me is equal to what I am exchanging this for, and I see value and I want to support that. But I think, the idea that like, when multiple people and transactions win and the value is there and the business is able to keep operating and employing and providing for our local community, like that's huge and that's exciting. And so I just love the idea of like seeing the impact that businesses can have as employers, as a provider of, I don't know, be it tables or coffee or, buildings, right? Like adding value to where our community can thrive because there's excess dollars is going to be an awesome thing. And so, I mean, I think I've always, I went through that kind of journey and like, how does business play into God's economy? And I read in my master's program, I really dove into a lot of that, and it was just like, yeah, this is awesome, right? Like the marketplace is a place for relationships to be built, for people to be treated well, to people to find enjoyment. We spend so much of our time at work. Let's make places that are awesome and people feel empowered to make decisions and have impact, and hopefully, I don't know, get some reward in that as well.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Well, we've gotten to benefit from that.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to? I was gonna go there. Do you something about our office?
Yeah, Bryan was really with Andrew and Joyce, part of the steered the ship to get our building purchased, bought, designed, demoed, the whole thing, and now everyone loves the building. It's so beautiful, the work here.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, this all happened. I got some like 18 tab spreadsheets from Bryan, and he was a project manager, just checking in, letting us know what's happening, and every once in a while making color calls, and
Yeah.
But our contractor, True, I don't want to overspeak. One of the guys that did so much work on our building was because of a reciprocal relationship that you had fostered.
Yeah, definitely. So seeing transformation in buildings and people is what gets me excited. And so the opportunity to work with Every Neighborhood Partnership and bring this place from what was dingy, dark.
Kind of like I always tell people it's your grandma's church. Pink carpet and everything was light tan.
Yeah, for sure. And bring the team together to execute on something that now just gives so much life to our community is really exciting. And so bringing in the design and the contracting and just all those subs that it took. I think we turned this building around in like 9 weeks or
crazy.
Something.
Now I look back, I'm like, why did we do that? We should have given ourselves more time.
But there's something nice about we're going to go full throttle instead of make it a 6-month thing. And so it all came together and is a beautiful space that serves the community and serves E&P team. And I was thankful to help kind of quarterback some of that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This is just my own curiosity as we land the plane. But what is your dream vision for Tower, downtown Fresno? When you think about the opportunity?
Oh man, that's a big question.
Never got that bagel shop though, or that donut shop.
Yeah.
I told you about this. Bryan was OG bagels. He wants a bagel. Grace is
Bryan has heard Alex and I speak about bagels.
Okay.
I've looked into the business model. It's tough, but someone should do it.
Yeah,
for sure. I think there's still
Come on, Schmidt camps. Brandon, get on it.
You're saying truly homemade versus I don't, Uncle Harry's is. They're not making from scratch.
I know, respectfully.
Right? Yeah.
Respectfully.
They make a good French toast bagel.
Yeah. Alex and I are very passionate about this.
Yeah.
And we talk about this maybe once a week. I'm not joking. Yeah.
You said it the other day. You're like, good bagel would be nice right now.
It means a lot.
Yeah. I think the dream is just that, people would continue to support those new shops that open. Downtown it's a tough food spot to operate in. And so I think, I think Fresno is, like you mentioned at the beginning, Grace, it's a place that we don't have all of the amenities of, San Francisco or Sacramento or Los Angeles, but there's more and more people being like, oh, I think I could show up and do something here. And so, I think that's been fun to see. And hopefully downtown can keep supporting those restaurants and we get some more housing. It's always that chicken and the egg, but Tower seems like it's alive and well and operating, and there's great options for everything down there. And so I think as entrepreneurs, just keep dreaming and keep trying, making some calculated risks for things.
CCT is both like always doing trainings, events, workshops. Like you guys are really a huge engine for social enterprise, nonprofits, businesses. So like, what are some things that folks could learn about, do with CCT with you?
So yeah, we're doing really exciting rural business development with various communities like Selma and Kingsburg and Carruthers, and offering those in person and online. And this fall, we're actually doing our first Spanish Spark Tank, which will be really exciting. So we're doing, which is providing investment funds for social enterprises. So businesses or nonprofits that seek a market-driven approach to meet a social environmental need. And so those are happening and coming up throughout 2026. And then we've always got really great business workshops to help entrepreneurs. Our Launchpad program, which is 7 weeks online. You learn, if you've got an idea or you're an operating business, it helps you clarify, build a plan, and execute for greatness. So
yes,
that's
greatness.
Awesome.
I like greatness.
And is that your baby, Launchpad?
Yeah, it's definitely something I've helped be a part of. And what's fun too is we're taking it to 7 or 8 new partners across the country this year. So they're going to start teaching it in their communities, which is going to be fun too. So
fun.
Yeah.
Always moving and grooving this one.
And Caddis Consulting, just a little side hustle. Tell us about that.
Have a really fun project with Youth for Christ happening where we're doing building renovation there. And yeah, always open to help social enterprises, businesses knock over obstacles and find a pathway to success. And so always available for chats or help to provide some insight where possible.
I'm actually part of the Rural Ignite, so I'm doing one of the nonprofit boot camps. So there's 4 different classes: advertising. You do a business finance one. There's one on food, and then I'm doing a nonprofit academy. So if you're interested, we'll have them in person and online. So check out. We'll link to CCT's information.
Yeah,
but. Bryan, I love you.
I love you too.
It is really an honor. Like like on all seriousness, to watch your journey up front, to be like everywhere I go, one, to get confused by everybody thinks I'm you. It happened again this last week. But then to be your cheerleader and to just celebrate the like heart and the good work that you do is honestly a joy of my life. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. You could say it's good in the hood.
It's good. Well, that's good in the hood.
You're
right. Good in the hood.
Awesome. Thank you.
I have loved being a fly on this brother wall. It's been an absolute joy. Bryan, thank you so much.
Keep up the great work at ENP. I love what you guys are all doing. So this is amazing.
Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to find out more about EMP, you can visit us at everyneighborhood.org or follow us at EMP Fresno. Every Neighborhood Partnership and this podcast exists to activate, equip, mobilize, and transform here in Fresno and beyond. If you liked what you've heard, please share and review what's good in the neighborhood wherever you listen. We'll see you next time.